Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City. Big shout out to DJ City. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got DJ Never.
Yo, what's up?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
DJ D Miles is MIA. He's getting his ass fixed once again. And we're taking it to the East Coast, and I'm speaking to one of New York's finest. I've been hearing a lot about my man, and I didn't really get to see him DJ in person in New York till I guess the pandemic happened. I saw him on Twitch, started seeing him on IG Live, and all the compliments and positive feedback I've heard about this DJ, I saw it in person, and this dude was great, and I'm really happy to have him on here. Big shout out to DJ Getlive. What's up, man? Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
What's good, fam?
Thank you for having me.
So I've always heard, I'm obviously boys with DJ Moma, and we've always talked about DJs in New York, and he's said nothing but great things about you. And I've talked to some other New York dudes, and they've always talked about you. I've never gotten a chance to hear you, but I heard you on Instagram Live, and your Twitch is amazing. And
thank you.
I've actually been very I was very happy that I got to catch you to hear your set, and you're dope. You're really dope, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I mean, I've looked up to y'all. I was just telling them earlier that I got the CD from the R.O.A.D, the mashup CD.
It's the motherfucking
Turntable Lab.
It's the motherfucking remix.
I got that CD back in the day, and I've been following y'all.
Yeah, Holotronics, Mark Ronson. There's a couple dudes on there. Yeah, big shout to 11 and Airs and Cosmo Baker on the on that R.O.A.D remix joint. Big shout to them. Man.
So I've been following y'all for a minute. I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of nightlife. Yeah. So, I follow a lot of, DJs and what they do, and, the nightlife stuff from clubs to, what's going on out here with parties and everything and such. So
you're from,
salute to you.
Oh no, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for looking up to me, bro. It's, no one ever told me that. Shouts to you, Getlive.
Yo,
I know. Well, you got to be careful when you say y'all. Y'all is it's not y'all. It's not y'all. It's not y'all over here.
It's not y'all. Yo, listen,
this is not y'all over here.
You've been doing your thing. You've been doing your thing, Getlive.
Thank you.
Nah, but what do you call it? You're from what? Jamaica, Queens? You're from Queens?
Yeah, from Queens. Yep.
Are you from you're from South Side or
Nah, right? North Side.
Like normal, like hardworking middle class Queens, right?
Queens,
Jamaican Queens.
You didn't hang out with 50 Cent, no.
Nah, Hillside Avenue,
no surprise, none of them guys.
Yeah,
you wasn't on the rooftop shooting down at people and stuff like that. Okay, I got it.
Nah.
It's funny because every time people ask me, they're like, "Oh, you're from New York?" They're like, "Are you from Flushing?" I'm like, "No, I'm not from Flushing." It's like any Asian in New York is from Flushing. What is your background? Where are you from?
I'm Filipino.
You're Filipino.
I had it right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Filipino.
that's very rare in New York, though. I mean, for me, it is. I never met Filipinos in New York. I kind of met.
Yeah, there's a small community, not as much as the West Coast.
Yeah.
But there's a big there's a good amount of us. There's a lot in Queens, like Woodside. Mm-hmm. That's I'd say like. They want to call it the Little Manila,
Oh, for real?
Yeah. They actually are petitioning to get the street name changed to Little Manila Way.
Oh, they can go fuck themselves. Nah, we don't need to hear that.
It's actually a part of Roosevelt Ave. I'm sure you know Roosevelt Ave.
Nah, I don't know shit about Queens, man. I don't know shit about Queens. I'm not, for real. Like, I hardly ever go to Queens.
I used to go to St. John's, so I know a little bit.
Okay, that's right around my way. I'm that side of Queens.
Hey, that's definitely a nice area around that area. Around there.
Yeah. It's chills. You know what I'm saying? It's chills.
Yeah. So are you like a queen? Like you grew up just loving everyone from Queensbridge. You loved everybody. You loved LaFrac. You loved CNN.
Yeah.
Was you like a Queens head?
Yeah, I mean, born and raised in Queens. Yeah. So, growing up, going to school, we listened to Lost Boys and Onyx and of course Tribe. And I had older sisters, so they put me on. Actually, it's like there's like 12 years between me and my sister. 12 years apart, and
oh wow.
So she's older.
I'm pretty sure she was listening to like Run DMC, LL Cool J.
Yeah, so she put me on to all like the early 90s hip hop, like Black Sheep and, Diggable Planets and all that, Brand Nubian. So that's where I got all that knowledge from. And then going to school, and then older cousins too at the same time. They put me on to like even just the polo shit and North Faces and, that whole 90s era of clothes,
It's a great time, man. Great time to be in New York at that time, bro. For real.
Yeah, it was a good time, growing up, riding BMXs, dynos and mongooses.
I know. I see the vinyl behind you. When did you start copping vinyl? When did you start? And where did you get vinyl from? Did you get it in Queens?
I used to go to Music Factory on Jamaica Avenue.
Okay. I never heard of that. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I used to go to Hot Wax.
Hot Wax.
That was off of Hot Wax, off of Jamaica Ave. And I used to go to Rock and Soul and Fat Beats. Fat Beats when it was
everybody
by West 8th.
Okay, now I'm starting to know these names. The Hot Wax I never heard of. That's crazy. I know.
But they had a music factory in Manhattan, right?
They had it in the Bronx also. There was
That's
one in the Bronx.
The Bronx. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
And then they had Beat Street in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That was another big record store. That's how I was thinking
about.
Yeah, that was a big record store too. But I used to go to, after school, I would take the train and go to Rock and Soul.
Yeah.
Go there on a Friday, and then you see everybody there picking up records before the club.
Friday's like
crazy.
Friday's the best but worst day to get records, right?
No, Fridays and Saturdays.
It's the worst.
It's the worst day
to
get records.
It's the worst.
And then we used to go up to the labels on Fridays too to try to get the promos.
Oh man, yeah,
right.
Yeah, and that was a mission.
Yeah, it was.
You used to need the plug. You be on the payphone outside of like Def Jam trying to call it again and get the promos. Shouts to Mozzie. Mozzie used to hook us up.
Oh shit, man! I haven't heard that name in years, man. I forgot all the label hookups from back then.
Shout to Sam Crespo, you know what I'm saying? Shouts to Tone.
I don't miss those days at all, man. I don't miss the vinyl shit at all. Man. You do?
I do miss them, man.
I don't miss that.
Go get that new vinyl that haven't been put out. That's not even in the record stores yet.
Oh yeah, yo, that shit was exciting, yo.
It was, but the struggle wasn't good. I hated that shit.
Yeah, I remember. It was like when you remember when Styling came out, Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
That was a hard record to get in the stores because it was like promo only.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just the single. I think they put the remix out, right?
They did. Yeah, they didn't put the original single on.
The original, that was like a hard record. I think at the time, me and Fat Fingers used to try to go up to the labels, and I think he jacked it from like Sam Crespo's office. He jacked 2 copies, and we lucked out and had like original copies of Styling. That was a banger for that summer.
It was.
You remember that shit? That must have hurt your feelings not to get that record, man. Because he's like, yo, I remember Styling. That one record.
That was a huge summer. That was when like Nothing came out, Nori.
That was like 90. That was 90s.
No, 2001.
02.
02,
01, 02 around that area.
01, 02, yeah.
That's such a New York record, though, right? Does that work outside of New York? Nah.
Which one?
Styling, Foxy Brown?
Styling?
Nah, I never heard of that.
Nah.
That's such a New York record.
Nah.
Yeah. It was a good record to cut up too. Like that kick on the one was hard.
I was gonna ask you fellas, why Friday the hardest day? I thought music used to come out on Tuesdays. So wouldn't that go
because all the DJs are DJing that weekend, so they need to get their records. So
also, it's like they
live on the Friday to get their records.
But also like last minute pressings from like these bootlegs, they would know to like, yo, let's deliver it on Fridays because that's when they want all the deliveries. So like they'd be like unpacking these bootleg like joints. Is it like Killer Cut? I don't know what it's called.
The Killer Cuts.
Killer Cuts.
Yeah. That was one of them.
Yeah. So they'd be like opening that shit up, and people be trying to grab the vinyl from the boxes and shit. But I got
Crip Underground joints.
Yeah, I got so cool with Rock and Soul. They will put shit aside for me.
Damn, the plugs over here.
So I would just walk in. Yeah, Ruben.
Ruben.
All those.
Actually, Ruben texted me today.
Did he?
Out of nowhere. Yeah.
Shit. Shout out to Ruben, man. There's a bunch of dudes out there. There was the dance hall reggae dude. I forgot his name, man. Who kind of reminds me. He reminds me of like Kid Cudi. Remember? He was like mad, like just like mad, like monotone black dude and shit.
Yeah.
He's just like in his feelings all the time. I forgot his name.
It was Benji.
Benji.
Yeah, I remember
the gay dude, but he was like mad cool.
Oh yeah, he was OG though.
He was, yeah.
And then he disappeared.
No, he went to Discorama.
Oh, he did.
Started working. No. Violent Mania. I'm sorry, Violent Mania. He started working there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he used to snap at me sometimes, like with an attitude and shit. But then he got cool. So, So how's it been on Twitch, man? Was it, we really love your Twitch. I think you're one of our top favorites. You were our top favorites. We talk about every week when we link up. We're just like, yo, who y'all feeling on Twitch? And you're one of our favorites. Pause. You know what I mean?
Thank you. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Was that hard for you to kind of start? Do you enjoy streaming? Do you enjoy it?
Well, I mean, this is actually not the first time I've streamed. I used to do a live stream on Ustream when it was out.
Back in the
on
day,
Beat Radio. Yeah, on Beat Minus Radio.
When was that? What year? What years were you doing that?
That was like
09.
09. Yeah,
oh, wow.
09, 010, yeah. 2010. Shouts to Beat Minus Radio. I used to rock with them.
Beat
Mr.
Miners,
Walton
wow.
with D. Yeah. So we would do the Ustream. I used to have a weekly show on there, and that kind of got me introduced to live streaming. And then I did it up until I say like 2013.
Wow.
Long time. Then I stopped doing it. I was just caught up with the club grind.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until the pandemic I really got opened back up to it. I started doing the IG Live thing.
Yeah.
Tried doing that. Actually got kicked off, and then I think I got kicked off because I mean the whole intention for me when I tried to do the live stream thing was I was just trying to play music for people during the pandemic.
Right.
I was just trying to play good vibes for people. People were like, "Yo, we need some like work from home music." So I was like, fuck it, I'll just jump on live and play some good vibes. And then that's kind of opened me up to playing other music too. And then I got kicked off of IG Live. I think one day I played like a drop from Malcolm X, and it automatically kicked me off. And then my account got suspended. Yeah,
like a Malcolm X speech.
Yeah.
Really?
What the fuck is going on?
I was
Malcolm X with the copyright.
I don't know. It was crazy because I was.
Did they flag it? Did they flag it as like hate speech or some shit? Or
I don't know. I think there's like some type of keywords that they look for on the algorithm or something like that. I don't know.
Mark Zuckerberg is like, we don't want any knowledge, or we don't want
too
any
controversial, man. You can't do that.
We don't want any.
This guy's too woke.
We don't want any righteousness. We don't want black righteousness to be spread in the internet. That's weird, man.
Yeah, I used to play Gil Scott. The revolution will not be televised. I used to get kicked off of that.
Oh, that's even worse, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I was going in.
That's some weird conspiracy. That's some weird shit for real.
Illuminati's onto you, bro.
Right. It's even weird. Like they're flagging him like a Filipino DJ is playing
in Queens.
He's playing James Brown. I'm Black and I'm Proud, and he's playing Malcolm X speeches. We got to shut him down. Yo.
Oh no, he's doing a Public Enemy routine. Get him.
Wow, that's weird. So then, when did you?
I got kicked off. Yeah, I got kicked off of IG. My account got suspended, and then people were like, "Yo, you should go on Twitch." And I was kind of hesitant about it. And then someone had hit me up to do a Twitch set. Brunch Bounce had hit me up to do a Twitch set. So I was like, all right. And then this other party, Cuffin. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. Yeah, the R&B party. So I mean, I tried it out. I didn't even like run the audio directly into my phone.
Right.
I just ran it like IG Live, and I didn't even have my camera angles right. Nothing. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I just did it. And then people were like, "Yo, you're gonna go back on?" I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, I, And then people were like, "Yo, like, what's up with the work from home music like during the week and shit?" So that's how I came about the 12 o'clock set. So I was trying to just, like I said, bring some good vibes during that, that afternoon slot for people. And then it's like the morning time for the West Coast. So that kind of
super early time.
I know, right?
Yeah. And that kind of contributed to the vibe, with how I play the sets and everything like that.
So you do Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. East Coast time?
12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
2 p.m. East Coast time.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. So that's 5 days a week, right?
Yeah, 5 days a week.
Wow. That's crazy. And so,
I thought you were doing 9 to 11.
No, that's your time, asshole, because you're on the Pacific time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, idiot. My fault. That's why I was like, wait, 9. Like I would catch the tail end sometimes. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There's different time zones in America, so we're on.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
So wait, I got a question about your Ustream with Beat Miners, right?
Yeah.
When you were streaming back then, was it some of the same principles that you deal with now, where you have to interact with people, and then
Yeah, so this kind of like, got me accustomed to the whole live stream thing, because there was a chat room in Ustream.
Yeah.
So, you would interact with people in the chat room, stuff like that, which is a big part of Twitch right now.
So did that whole chat room. So did all those old instincts kind of come back kind of fairly easily when you started doing streaming with Twitch and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. And then, just because of like this whole community and how the ecosystem of Twitch is, that whole chat room interaction is very important.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what helped me keep going. Just building a community within that chat room, people coming back and showing all that support. So that kept me going, and now we're here doing it 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
So 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 2 hours 2 hour sets each day. And then how long? So how long have you been doing this for? Like 2-3 months now?
I remember I got kicked off of IG. It was like the 15th of April. And then the week after that, I think it was like around April 27th, I jumped on Twitch. And then I did like 30 something days straight. Well, I was even doing Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh, wow.
I was just playing music. I was just like, yo, fuck it. Like, I'm home. What else would I be doing? I'm a DJ.
Yeah.
I'll play some music. Fuck it. And I had a lot of music that I wanted to play and just put out there. Just there's a lot of music that has been tucked away and, should be brought out to the people. And that's what I've been focusing on. Digging back into like Jamiroquai stuff from the 90s and like, Groove Collective, playing a lot of vibes, even digging back into the disco stuff. So it helped me open up into all this new music too.
Yeah.
So it's been a good outlet for me, myself personally.
Yeah, you're technically really great, like especially for like in New York, there's a what do you call it? There's some West Coast you do like some West Coast shit sometimes, like you obviously do a lot of like New York scratches and juggling and back and forth.
New York style, yeah.
But you've incorporated some West Coast styles in there, so it's really good to like hear when you spin, you're like kind of mixing a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? And I love when I love when you play original samples and then go into the song that sampled it. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess that's all like from the influence of all the DJs I've looked up to coming up.
Like who's that? Who's that on the West Coast?
I mean, I out of the West Coast, I used to scratch Pickles. I got one of those first battle tapes I got was Pickles versus X-Men.
Yeah.
And then growing up, we'd always listen to Flex on the radio.
Yeah.
So this is the DJ world I'm walking into when I'm like 13 years old, starting to DJ. Starting to learn how to DJ. And then digging more into it, watching more battle tapes. I learned about Rolly Row, Fifth Platoon, the Beat Junkies. Seeing the team battles, and then A-Track and Craze. So I used to watch battles all the time, and that helped give me an aspect of my kind of repertoire of skills, and I incorporate that into the club mixing, which was another element of the DJing.
And then on your Twitch, are you mixing up with the vinyl too? Or are you just throwing down vinyl sometimes? And
I would do dedicated vinyl sets every now and then. I do a 45 set, every now and then. I do a straight 12-inch vinyl set every now and then. But for the most part, recently I've been playing a lot, off the laptop.
Were you still digging in New York pre-COVID?
Yes,
you were.
Yes. I would fly out to Japan to DJ periodically.
Dope.
And I'll go digging out there. That's when I really started digging for 45s. Just the 45 game out there is crazy.
I know, yeah.
And you can find a lot of originals, stuff like that. So, and then I would travel a lot too. I used to go to this spot out in Pittsburgh called Jerry's Records, and they used to have a crazy 45 section.
Wow.
There's actually a story of I think it was Jazzy Jeff, Dilla, and Kenny Dope meeting up one day just to go digging at that one spot in Pittsburgh.
Wow, really?
It's like an urban legend
Jesus.
Yeah, so I kind of fell off a little bit, probably like mid 2010s with digging, but as of recently, like especially now being in the crib due to the pandemic, I've been digging a lot on the internet for sure.
Are you on Discogs or what?
Yeah, I searched through Discogs, but those prices are crazy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
The prices are crazy.
What spots online you'd be checking out?
Well, sometimes I would go out to actually like some spots in Long Island. I drive out, they got like a couple of spots out in like Bayshore, kind of like, or Wantagh, like far out, But these are like, spots that would do like the record flea markets, but these are their stores.
Yeah.
So I'll go out there. There's a spot called Mr. Cheapo's. I'll hit up.
Wow.
They got a cool 45 section. And then, in the city, I would hit up A1.
Yeah, I usually go there when I'm in New York.
Yeah, and then there's this new spot out in Greenpoint that just opened up probably like within the last 3 years called Capture Tracks. And they got a lot of heat there, like 45s. Yeah, so I've been able to pick up a lot of stuff there.
I think
so. Periodically I go around and dig on the web, or now I started going out, venturing out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that y'all motherfuckers still like y'all still digging and shit, yo. Like
I never still goes digging.
I just started digging again recently too, man. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I don't have my vinyl with me in Las Vegas. It's still in New York, so I don't feel the need to like go digging like ever. But I always hated that process. I despised the fact that I had to go to 3 record stores to find the record I was looking for. I hated that process. You know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted Sheila E. Glamorous Life extended single, the extended single, I detested these like record stores that I had to go out there and shop the shit, and then I had to pay like $60 or $40 for that single. Like that shit pissed me off.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
they would charge that though. Like if you like for some of these records, yo, and I fucking hated that shit. I fucking despised it, yo. So when the MP3s started coming in, I was like, yeah, fuck them. Fuck these guys. trying to charge me $30 for Bust a Move, fucking Young MC. Whatever the fuck that I was looking for those records at the time.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Bust a Move.
I'm still scarred, so I don't find that.
$60.
Yeah, there's crazy shit like back in the day, like finding Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC was like, it was hard to get those. It was only imports, and then you would have to spend like $60 on the records. $40 to $60 on those.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
God bless your heart, Kirk.
No, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's funny that y'all still into that. Like Ross and Rockticon are still into that. They're really into digging. Yeah, shit.
It's kind of relaxing too, man. Digging through records,
It's therapeutic, probably for a lot of people.
Yeah,
yeah. I guess it's a collector's kind of mentality. It's like we used to go digging for sneakers. Like we go to mom and pop shops.
I do the same thing
on Junction Boulevard in Queens and look for like throwback sneakers like on sale. Find some like Air Bacons for like $40, or some, like this is like early 2000s, so it's like a collector's mentality. We used to collect like basketball cards back in the day.
Baseball cards, like all that stuff.
Comic books also, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you've been venturing out in New York. How's the vibe in New York right now?
Well, I mean, it's people are out. People are out in the streets.
Yeah, I heard I heard you were DJing at a rave under a bridge, right? That was you?
Yeah, that was all him.
That wasn't me. That was
you, right? That was you. That was you.
But that did happen. There was a rave. Actually came
I know it happened because you was there. You was DJing, right?
Yeah, I saw your IG live. They took you off.
Nah. That wasn't me, yo. That wasn't me.
Get live.
But yo, I did Wildin' Out, especially in Queens. I see them wilding out in Queens, like. I see
Queens.
Yeah, they're shutting down blocks and they're having like shorties dancing on top of on cars, like stripping naked and like squirting.
You mean
on
the water
people.
shows? You mean the water shows that are happening?
They're just like squirting on people on the street on top of like a Volkswagen or some shit.
Yo, that shit is nuts.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Why they got this strip in Astoria? Steinway. It's called Steinway, and they actually called it Steinway. They missed Steinway because it was so lit out there. But a couple spots lost their liquor license.
Wow.
You know, they got hit with fines and all that shit.
So New York is cracking down, right? The city's cracking down on motherfuckers.
Yeah. You know, they you know, these cats might walk in, you know, check for, you know, if shit's operating properly, you know. They really being strict about it now.
Yeah. Okay. So
Crazy.
there's no shorties on top of vehicles squirting on people.
Yeah, squirting on the wet zones.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
They was wilding out. They was people are ready. Like I think they're just pent up, you know, from being cooped up in the crib for so long.
Course,
you know,
man. Yeah.
So the wolf comes out. The wolf is coming out on everybody, and everyone's wilding the fuck out when they're going out. That's what it happened. Is anyone in New York? Is there any venues in New York hitting you up for work or no? Not at all.
Nah. There's nothing really going on.
What do you see in the future? Do you see anything opening up by next year? I don't, but you know, let me know what you feel.
I personally don't think, you know, we're definitely not going to be back in the clubs this year.
Yeah.
I don't know about the first half of 2021. I mean, you know, winter's slow in New York anyway, so
Right.
you know, it doesn't even make sense. But there's a lot of spots that are not making it through.
Yeah,
you know, a couple of spots had to shut down. I lost one of the spots I used to DJ at, Kinfolk. They had to. They kept their doors closed. Yeah, it's been tough. It's a tough time. I don't even know, man. It's hard to tell.
It's unknown, right? It's just we don't know what's gonna happen, right? Does that worry you, or are you kind of cool in this space right now? In this Twitch live stream space.
I mean, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with this Twitch live stream space. I'm not mad at it. But at some point, you know, we got to really sit down and think about what the hell is going to happen for the working DJ.
Yeah.
You know, there was a tweet that one of the nightlife people put out, and it was like some real talk. It was like, yo, some of y'all DJs gonna have to think about other jobs or like other sources of income.
Yeah.
So it's real out here, you know. It's hard to tell. I can't even call it, but luckily we have this platform that is Twitch, and you are able to monetize through it. So
yeah,
that's good.
Did you go through like any depression phase in the beginning and all this shit, or like anxiety phase where you just scared what the fuck was gonna happen next and shit?
Not really. I kind of just jumped right into the live stream thing, and it kind of distracted me.
Yeah,
I guess in a way. Yeah, I just started getting into that, and one thing led to another, and I'm just focused on that, and it's just evolved up until this point now.
Are you seeing a lot of New York DJs out there? Because I don't see a lot of New York DJs on Twitch. I feel like they're dragging their feet.
Yeah, there's a lot of West Coast cats on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean West Coast. Yeah.
But as far as New York DJs, I haven't really seen that many, to be honest.
Well, do you know why? Do you know, like, because I've spoken to a few of them, and they were like, man, I don't know, that shit look kind of corny. Like, I'm not trying to fuck with it. And it's always like that. It's always that New York shit that I deal with when I talk to like fellow New Yorkers, of like when keeping it real goes wrong. Like, these motherfuckers try to keep it real. Like, they try to be too cool, where they don't want to be like trying hard to do shit. Like, I don't want to be on a live stream trying to be extra and shit and all that. And then meanwhile, 6 months later, they'll hit me up and be like, Crooked, can you tell me about this Twitch I keep hearing about? And I'll be like, yo, man, like, the train left already, bro. You know, like, motherfuckers are starting to hit me up now, like, man, I don't know, man, should I jump on? I'm like, yo, just do it. Like, don't think about it anymore, man, because you're just losing time. And you know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way.
Right?
You know, it's a good time. You know, when we jumped on, like in April, May, that was like such a great time to jump on Twitch. It was kind of in the beginning, like early adoption stage of the DJing on Twitch. I'm sure there was DJs on Twitch before that, but as far as like, you know, everyone coming on to this live stream pandemic era of DJing, it was a good time. And now we're in August, almost September. And, you know, one of the main things about being on Twitch and getting to that ability to monetize is you got to kind of put in these hours. So that you could reach affiliate status or you could reach partner status, and that's when you're able to monetize.
But if you're not an affiliate or partner, you're basically in like crumb status, right? So you're not making no money. You're in crumb status.
Yes,
you're working yourself up. You're working yourself up.
No, it's what we call crumb status, okay?
No.
Where you a fucking crumb, and we've been crumbs, okay? and because this is the thing that I'm starting to notice. A lot of motherfuckers who jumped on Twitch in April and May, right? everyone was crumb status. Like crumb status was across the board.
Yeah.
And then now all these motherfuckers who's been crumb status has elevated to affiliate and partner in August, moving to September, right?
Right.
And then all of these late bloomers are coming in like, well, let's start now. And when you're starting in crumb status and you're seeing your peers in like affiliate and partner, it's like discouraging. You know what I mean? So a lot of these motherfuckers who are starting late are like discouraged, you know?
It can be, but I would say I don't think you should get discouraged.
I know you say they shouldn't, but they are discouraged, yo.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, Getlive got like 200, 300 motherfuckers, and I got 20 motherfuckers in my shit. This is and I'm like, yeah, but he been doing it for like 3 months, 3 to 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
It's consistent.
Yeah.
I had crumbs. I was crumb status for sure.
Yeah.
But I put, I thought about it and I was like, yo, I think in order to get to that level, you got to be consistent with it. So I put in the time for it. And, now we're here.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
Yeah.
Did you focus so much on those numbers though, as they were going up? Were you like very, very like stressing out about those numbers going higher, or you just kept doing what you were doing and then they just
I wasn't worried about the numbers, honestly. I was DJing the same when there was like 10 people in there, and and now I'm still DJing the same way. Even when I was doing IG Live, I was getting like 35 people, and I was like, oh man, I probably suck or something like that. I probably fucked up some blends. And, like, people tuned out. But I was. It wasn't about the numbers. It wasn't even really about the money for me either. I wasn't really. There was this whole controversy about the DJs, shouting out their Cash App, and remember that whole thing. IG Live started kicking off, and
Kid Capri was talking shit, right?
There was this whole thing about it. Me personally, my whole thing on it was, I wanted to just put good vibes out, so I didn't really stress my Cash App. Even to this day, people be in the chat room and they're like, "Yo, what's your Venmo?" And I don't even really be shouting it out like that because it wasn't about that for me. It was about putting out good music. At the end of the day,
do you feel
and
like
that was it?
Do you feel like a little hoish, like putting your Cash App out there, like?
I mean, it even goes back to like being in the club and taking tips, right? Like I remember like coming up when I was first starting to DJ. One of my OGs was like, "Nah, don't ever accept tips from people because they'll be like because they gonna control you the whole night."
What OG is this? I want to talk to this OG.
DJ
Fish?
Sound Assassin. Yeah, DJ Fish. He used to run with this dude, Ed Swift, from Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I used to do this spot called Remy Lounge. Mm-hmm. One of my first residencies with Fat Fingers and this dude, DJ Ease. And it was down right by the World Trade Center.
Wow.
And then I remember this is like my first Saturday night residency weekly thing. And one of the, people would come to the booth and try to give you like tips and stuff. And he'd be like, "Yo, don't accept tips from cats because they could have. It's like a way of them having control over you.
Mm-hmm.
They could just come back to you and tell you what to play, and they'll use that leverage over you that they gave you money type thing."
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's absolutely
agree.
True. Yeah,
I do agree. I agree with him 100%. I'm not like a tip dude. Like, I would rather give someone $100 to get away from me. And I've done that before.
I did that once.
I did that before. Someone was like, "I'll give you $100." Someone said, like, "I'll give you $20 to play the song," and I'm like, "I'll give you $100 to get away from me right now."
I did the same thing before. Yeah,
and I think one of them was like, "Wow, really? Like, that's fucked up." That's a good mentality to have. I mean, it's kind of, you're not going to get any tips, but that's
yeah. I mean, people have. People have found out and have ended up tipping me. Yeah. And I'm very thankful for that. But it's not like my main intention.
Yeah.
Or like the main driving force of what motivates me to DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
When you're streaming now, right? How is that how are you approaching it differently from the clubs right now? Or you're not? Are you just giving that same energy?
Sometimes I'll give it depends. Like today I played a set that was kind of clubby.
Yeah.
Just cause like I picked up the energy. It was a Friday. So I was like, so we're getting ready for the weekend. So, we could pick up the energy during the week. I kind of keep it mellow. Mm-hmm. And I'm still getting accustomed to pacing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you come from a club perspective, and especially in New York, you're rushing through shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had to kind of like
Slow it down.
Slow it down a little bit, and get more to like pacing and letting things breathe.
Let the song play out a little longer.
Yeah, right. And it's weird too because the camera's on you.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel it's like me being a kind of like coming from the battle background. It's like I need to be doing something with my hands.
Right.
Instead of just like me looking through this laptop. So I kind of keep that in mind too to keep things exciting during my sets.
Mm-hmm. Do you prepare at all? Like, how do you keep it fresh because you're doing it 5 times a week? That I'm sure it's like a struggle of trying not to sound the same every day.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't prepare. I kind of just keep it it's like freestyling.
You're just nice like that. You're nice like
that.
Yeah,
like that, bro.
That's how good you are.
Practice? You talking about practice? You talking about practice?
Not even. I'll be butchering mixes. I'm fucking. It's live. Some of this shit just comes to me as in the moment, and I'm just actually experimenting. And sometimes I'll be fucking up, and I'm like, fuck, yo, But like I said, it's just an outlet. This is like kind of like my 2-hour therapy session for myself to even just play music and experiment with music. So, I kind of line up the tunes. I guess you could say before a show. I might or I've had I'll come up with a concept like say like the other day, August 11th, birthday of hip hop. So it was like, all right, today's hip hop's birthday. Let me play some breaks. I'll play some b-boy stuff. And then depending on what I play, I try to switch it up each day. So that every day is something different. So I guess when I'm not on air, I'm just thinking in my head like, yo, what am I gonna play? I might hear something. Somebody might send me something that might set off like a whole rabbit hole of going into this music or this vibe, and then I'll play it the next day. So it all depends, but for the most part, I try to keep everything in the moment.
Who started that hip hop day? I never heard of that before. I didn't know hip hop had a day.
It's been going on for the past couple of years.
Yeah, but when did that start? Like, I didn't know it was an actual day that it was like, when did that happen?
I want to say 2015, 2016.
Really?
That's when I started seeing that little paper flyer the one that he put out.
Queen, you're from Queens. Don't you get mad when you see that shit? Every Queens motherfucker gets so mad.
Nah, man,
they're like
about what?
Because they're like hip hop started in the Bronx. The Queens motherfuckers are always like, nah, we had block parties too. Maybe we didn't have a flyer out or whatever the fuck.
Hey, we still got Run DMC, Nas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I got a good group of people that.
LL Cool J. So the catalog speaks for itself.
Yeah, Nori.
Yeah, Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
Tribe Called Quest.
I want to know. I want to know who started that hip hop day because I don't know. Like, it doesn't. Like, I've never heard of that before. Why did it just pop up?
I think a couple of years ago they did a dedication up at Cedric and Cedar. The corner. Where hip hop started, and they renamed the street, or they did a dedication to it.
It was that, and then also they started doing those T-shirts, Cedric houses, like back in like 2015 or 16. So I think it was around that time they started giving hip hop the day of August 11th.
Okay. August 11th. I was just like, yo, I've never seen this before, and it was weird. But I was like, cool. Like, I mean, that's cool. Huh?
This is the first time you noticed it this year?
Yeah, it was the first time I seen it. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like, all right, cool. I'll retweet this shit. And then,
bro, you saw it last year. You brought it up to me last year.
Did I? That it was.
Yeah, we spoke about this last year. Yeah.
Really? That it was an actual day? Really?
Yeah, you're like, is this a thing? I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. It's been happening for like the past couple of years.
I started really questioning it.
No, you probably just saw it and like it went over your head, and then this year you're probably like, oh, it's a thing. It's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I was like, why the fuck is like where is this proven? And then I started seeing a bunch of Queens motherfuckers under the tweet, just going off, like losing it, going crazy about hip hop started in the Bronx, and then I started appreciating it even more. I was like, okay, I'll retweet this shit, piss off some Queens motherfuckers.
that's way before my time, so
way before mine too. Way before mine too. So like in New York, I left New York in 2005, never left in 2002, right around there. 2003, and we weren't in the scene, and then I feel like I wasn't in the scene. And like the goal for a DJ in New York at that time in the early 2000s was to be in a bottle service club. You know what I'm saying? And then
that was the era.
That was the era. And then obviously it continued on to the 2010. But I want to know what era you kind of came out of. Because I always kind of like hearing you play. I mean, I would put you in like a good music DJ catalog, right?
Right.
But not necessarily. I'm sure you could do bottle service clubs, right? I'm kind of wondering, was that not the focus moving towards the 2010s? Do you know what I mean? Where DJs were like, we don't want to be in this bottle service shit, and then they started doing more off-site parties, like, you know what I'm saying? More good music parties. And as Brooklyn started blowing up, there were more parties in Brooklyn and so on. You know?
Yeah. Well, the dynamic of the city changed. I'd say, like 2005 to like 2010, it was like heavy bottle service. I used to actually DJ at Stereo.
Oh, okay. Dope.
Yeah, so I'll run it back a little bit when I was doing, I mentioned that residency Remy Lounge that I started doing. That era, it was like early 2000s. I was doing like J Terrace after work.
Okay.
You know, remember like China Club after work. So like those parties.
Wow.
And then I started branching out to downtown after that. And I would do like Bob Bar, you know,
I DJ
6 grand.
Back in
Like I'll do the small in the cut spots downtown. And then from there, I got this residency called at this club called Taj. That was kind of like a big room, kind of bottle service type club. And I DJ'd there for 8 or 9 years every Saturday night. I had that residency for almost 9 years. And that took me into like the mid 2000s. And that's when Brooklyn started popping off. And then I started DJing at Kinfolk, like 2014. And then I got into the whole Brooklyn thing from there.
See, I never experienced the whole Brooklyn thing. I never saw it emerge and shit.
The whole Brooklyn wave. You know, I DJed at this club, Shemansky. I had a residency there every Saturday night. So yeah, and there's so many spots that go even deep into Brooklyn, like Bushwick now too.
And then also these bottle service spots, they stopped paying motherfuckers. So like it made no sense to even try to fight to be in those clubs anymore, right?
Yeah, it was you know, it was tough. You know, I remember I did one spot, shall remain nameless, and it was like such a headache for me to even get a check from them. You know, so you know, it and then at the same time, you know, the music I would play isn't the same, and I wasn't feeling it. You know, so it was just playing out for Brooklyn crowds was way funner.
Right,
it was more fun.
What were you playing in Brooklyn crowds? Like, was it a young crowd? Was it more like
So this is like we're moving now, like this 2014. I call this like the turn up era. So we're moving into like the turn up era. This is, you know, like early 2010s was kind of like EDM-ish, like 2010, 2011, 2012. And then we get into like this trap kind of era of music.
It's like peak, you know, Travis Scott. All that.
Travis Scott. Antidote. Know Yourself,
right?
You know, Drake, you know, and we start moving into that Migos, Future,
right?
And this is like, and then ASAP, you know, Work was a huge record, and this is now we're in this era, mid 2010s, like 2015, 2016, Kinfolk, and this is when all this trap stuff was like ringing off, and that took me up until my last gig before COVID was at Kinfolk, and that was it.
I wanted to ask you about you have this Dilla Party, right? Is it Donuts Are Forever? It's like an annual tribute to J Dilla.
Yeah, they do a party at Brooklyn Bowl every year. Shouts to the homie D-Funk.
Yeah.
And the Donuts Are Forever crew, they do it annually, and it's a Dilla tribute party that they do. Wow. I played on it twice.
How was that shit?
It's dope. You know, it's pretty much everything Dilla and related.
Really?
Know? So you could, you could go into edits, you could go to samples. You know,
I don't mean to diss Dilla, but that's 4 hours worth of music. Like Dilla.
But
you're a dick, man.
6 hours.
There are diehard Dilla fans.
I know that. No, I definitely.
Yeah.
Never. I may take this out because you're gonna get cooked.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that sounds horrific to me. like 4 hours of Dilla. I think, like, I love Dilla. Like, you know what he did with
respect to him. Yeah.
I love Dilla. Like what he did, like with Slum Village and Quest and all that shit.
But he's no Premier.
No. But I don't really know about like these instrumentals, like these donuts that motherfuckers listen to. and it doesn't register with me. And maybe I could be an absolute moron, or I could just be from another time or whatever.
We have to get have to do a set first and see.
That was definitely there was a whole era of when everyone started getting into like that J-Lib album Champion Sound. I'd say it started happening like around 2005, 2006, 2007, like going into the late 2000s. And pretty much everyone that was still listening to like that backpack type of hip hop was listening to that. They were digging into the Dilla stuff. He started coming out with like the Rough Draft album and all those projects after he passed away. And that it evolved into like that kind of underground hip hop scene of the late 2000s with like Black Milk and even like Blue and Exile from the West Coast. Stuff like that.
I don't know anything about this scene. It's crazy. I
don't know. Exactly. Right? I'm lost.
Like Flying Lotus, All
right, so if I wanted to get into J Dilla right now, and the thing is, I know about J Dilla, but I know about like the Ummah. I know like the early J Dilla, like 90s with
when he was like JD.
Yeah, when he was with with Q-Tip and when he was doing Slum Village. Like that's the J Dilla I know. And then I just like 2000s J Dilla, I'm not really aware of. Does that make sense?
I know about the Donuts series, but other than that, I don't know much about.
So what do I need to listen to understand what's the one J Dilla shit I need to listen to? Because I wanted to do a battle, right? Didn't we want to do a battle?
We want to do a J Dilla battle.
We want to do a J Dilla battle with J Dilla versus, what did we say, No ID? Does that make sense?
No ID.
We did.
Does that even make sense or no?
Well, I'd say they kind of have a little similarities in sound. No ID's he kind of reminds me of like a Madlib type of producer. J Dilla versus Madlib would be dope. They did a project together though. But No ID. I'm not really too familiar with his catalog like that though.
Okay.
He's pretty stacked.
Yeah.
I know he's got a heavy catalog, but me personally, I'd say I know a little bit more Dilla stuff.
Yeah, maybe because I grew up in the 90s with like No ID and Common and all of this shit. So I know like the Resurrection album and all of this stuff and whatnot. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, well, recommend me some J Dilla. Let me know. Like what's the one J Dilla I need to listen to?
Oh, he's looking at.
Don't start flexing. Don't start flexing.
Take him out. Bring him out.
If he pulls out the J Dilla record for me right now, I'm gonna be pissed off.
You can listen to this album.
Oh, this motherfucker.
I used to see that album all the time in the record store, but
me too. I never got that.
This is the J-Lib Madlib. The J Dilla Madlib album.
Okay.
So
I should check that out.
Yeah, this is for sure.
Am I gonna get my hip hop card like
revoked?
Yeah, revoked because I don't know about this shit. No.
No,
nah. Okay. You good. This because I'd say it might still be a little niche if you are into the whole Dilla thing. It's like very niche too.
Are you like Are you a J Dilla fan? Like, are you like a diehard?
No, I'm a fan, but I'm still even like I'm not that deep into that. Right. I played the party, but I had to do my homework to play the party.
Yeah, because I see certain motherfuckers get really upset about if you.
I'm not on that level at all.
Okay.
You know what's crazy
I'm
though?
Definitely not at,
How many was there a large percent of girls at those parties? Because for some reason women love J Dilla.
Yeah, there was actually.
It's not like a dude fest. It's like mad women that love J Dilla.
Don't say mad women. Sure. Maybe like some women.
No, I'm dead ass. For some reason, women love J Dilla.
Really?
They love J Dilla for some reason. Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
there was a lot of women there for sure.
I'm telling you,
they represented.
I think that was just in LA, man.
Nah, bro, she's across the board.
I've always been curious about that, man. What do you call it? So like, you was in the New York scene, right? And you were like, because when I would go back to New York, I always say this on the podcast. Everyone was struggling. Everyone was bitching and shit. But you were pretty much thriving. You were doing all right.
It's a hustle.
It's a hustle, yeah.
It's definitely a hustle. I was, I'm grateful to have like survived, but there was a time when it was tough to get gigs, and good paying gigs. A lot of the gigs were going to, not the DJs that I feel like were credible to do them. And then, I was able to do a lot of like corporate stuff too. I did a lot of the industry parties too. I was able to do. But yeah, there was a time when, I'd say even mid 2010s where there was a lot of gigs that were just drying up. It was tough. And this was, I'd say, when things were switching over from the bottle service type of vibe. And it was going into kind of like that downtown-ish, I guess, for lack of a better word, hipster-ish kind of vibe.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Was you just DJing, or did you have like a day job at the same time?
No, I was a full-time really? DJ. Yeah, I've been a full-time DJ ever since I graduated college.
I'm about to say, I saw you with Hofstra University, right?
Yeah, and I took radio there. I did the college radio thing. I wanted to be on radio DJing. But I guess I'm on Twitch DJ.
I mean, you're making more money than the radio people, so you're good.
I mean, some people are calling Twitch the new radio right now. You know what I mean? Because you guys,
I think so. This is, there's a whole world that's going to open up with Twitch. I feel there's so much potential with it. That's why I said, even DJs that might be a little hesitant on getting on, you could get on, and everyone has their own little world within Twitch, I'd say, from like the design of their overlays to, what they do on their show. It's all their own thing. So it gives DJs their individualism.
Show off the personality.
Yeah. So I think it's a great platform.
What do you, is there any, did you hit a wall at any point when you were on Twitch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did. I'd say after I did like a month straight, every day, I was like, yo, man, this is hard. And I took a week off, and people were like, yo, what happened? And I was like, oh, man, I'm like doing maintenance this week, like self-maintenance, because I was like burnt out. It's a lot. And then that's when I was like, yo, if I'm really do this, I got to really figure out how I'm going to dedicate to it and what I'm going to allow myself to, to do and not get burnt out by it also. So that's when I came up with the 5 days a week schedule. So I pretty much treat it like I'm doing a mix show, midday, lunchtime mix, I'm getting up, going to do radio, and that's how I treat it.
Do you upload the audio anywhere?
No, but I do record them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I leave the recordings up. They say you should take them down, but they're muted. If they get muted, whatever. Sometimes they don't get muted, and if you're lucky enough, you could catch one that's not muted.
Yeah. And if you like quickly download it after you record it, the video won't be muted. The download,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So for all you guys on Twitch, as soon as you finish your stream, make sure to download your video ASAP. Because if you wait like 2 days or 3 days, it'll be like the video that you download will be the muted version, pretty much.
Dude, you wait like 12 hours and it's muted.
Yeah. So
I've had stuff muted right after I get off.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I'll look at the video producer log and it's muted already right when I sign off.
Oh shit. That's crazy. Yeah. Luckily that hasn't happened with us. Not yet.
Thank God.
Knock on wood.
No, this week everything's muted.
I mean, I feel like they're cracking down on it a lot more, especially like I've been noticing on YouTube and obviously on social media they've been cracking down. Like obviously Sony, Warner Brothers, all of these motherfuckers.
We just got hit this morning twice. Yeah, double
a few times. That's interesting that you hit that wall. I feel like all of these DJs hit that wall and stuff like that and get discouraged.
It's a lot, it's all eyes are on you, it's a different dynamic as opposed to say being on radio where nobody sees your face. Like everyone's nitpicking at every little thing, There's like people that notice little things. Like I got a weird mouse that I use. I got this old school mouse that I use, the joint with the ball.
With the
ball.
Yeah, with the roller ball. And someone's like, yo, look, he got a rollerball mouse. I'm like,
that's not even a magic mouse.
I just use I like it because of editing, on Pro Tools and stuff. But I was like, damn, y'all notice that shit? That shit is crazy, yo. So people were like, yo, they're like, yo, why you always wear black shirts? I'm like, the fuck? Like, people are noticing this shit.
Yo, you didn't put no beer oil on your beer today. What's going on?
Yeah, so it's a different dynamic, and it's a lot for some people. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. It's a heavy thing.
Yeah, I hate the internet.
What's the one thing? What's the one thing you miss? I miss DJing at night. That's the one thing I miss. Like DJing at night, walking in a venue in the nighttime, leaving the venue afterwards. You know, like I love DJing at night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's the one thing you miss?
There's definitely no other feeling than DJing in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
You know, that it's totally different than DJing with a chat room there.
Yeah.
You know, the response time, you know, that crowd reaction, you know, everyone yelling, you know, when you play that song, you know, you cut the music off, everyone's singing. Like, there's nothing that can compare to that. You know, I miss that the most for sure. You know, just that thrill of and that excitement from, you know, you get from the crowd.
Yeah. Damn, man. It's I feel like we got a long road back, you know what I'm saying? To the clubs, you know, especially in New York. Especially in New York.
Yeah.
Everywhere, man. Yeah. Even in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
How is it going for y'all out there? Are y'all open back up with the clubs? I see you you posted some flyers for some parties.
I've been doing like the day parties. The day clubs have been opening.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's strict. It's like there's the bars are not open. You gotta have a cabana. You gotta stay at a cabana. And you gotta have your mask on. Only time you're not have to wear a mask is if you're in a pool, which makes no sense.
And then, that's interesting. No, I was gonna say, you know, like in Florida, they got Universal Studios. They got the water park open.
Yeah.
You know, other theme parks you gotta wear a mask, but at the water park you don't wear a mask, which is weird to me.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird with all these, like, you know, rules and stuff. Like, it's hard to put a finger on what you should be doing. Like, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the same. Like, it's not the same thing anymore. And they're telling you, like, they don't want people dancing, but they want like dance energy. They want like a dance vibey energy. But if you're playing music that's gonna get people turned up, they want you to just like switch the song ASAP.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's like it's like you're fucking, but you're like the point of fucking isn't to like ejaculate or like orgasm.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like, oh, well, if the crowd's gonna get near orgasm, you gotta stop. And you're like, oh, okay, like, all right. You know what
I'm coming.
It's like just heavy petting, Everyone keep your clothes on, you know, no exchanging bodily fluids. You know what I'm saying?
It's tough, man. You know, even just with wearing masks, you know, going out, you know, as long as that's around it. So I feel like that's going to be weird to socialize, you know, as far as socializing, you know, just like wearing a mask, you know, isn't that one of the things, you know, you want to, when going out, is that socializing aspect. And now we got to wear these masks. And I mean, I get it. You know, we have to protect ourselves, but, you know, it kind of makes that whole experience, you know, a little awkward, I feel, right?
Yeah, something you got to get used to. We all got to get used to.
Yeah, we all. Yeah, in a way. I hope I didn't say nothing wrong with that.
Nah.
Are you anti-mask? Correct. Are you anti-mask? Is that what it is?
Nah, I mean, I wear my mask. You know, it's definitely, you know, awkward. I feel, though, for sure. Even DJing with the mask is kind of awkward. You know,
well, like
I feel
seeing a shorty's lips nowadays is like seeing her nipples, right?
Dude, I be smiling and I forget I'm wearing a mask and people are looking at me crazy. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just smile at people and they can't even see you smiling.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Seeing a shorty's nostrils and lips is gonna be like a turn on now. They're gonna have
like, ooh, girl, show me them nostrils.
That's gonna be like a new fetish. So all right. I heard
it's gonna be the new OnlyFans.
Yeah, so you spoke about being on you was in the Rebel 3 style, right? Were you in Vegas?
Yeah, I was for the US finals in 2011.
So wait, you was at Lavo?
No, it was at Palms.
No, Palms.
Lavo was the local DJs.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was there at the Palms. I remember that.
He was there versus DJ Scene. I forget who else was there, but Scene was on that one.
Okay. And Vice was like a judge, right? Am I right?
Yeah, Vice
it was like A-Track and Judge, A-Track and Vice.
I think Sujit was one too, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was Sujit. There was like some dudes from Beatport and Danny Masterson.
Okay.
Who was DJ something Jeans? It was, what was it?
The 70s show? The 70s show.
Yeah, that 70. He was a DJ, right? At some point.
Yeah, he was trying to DJ.
Yeah. I mean, that's like that Holly weird shit, you know, where all the the actors intermingle, and they're like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna fuck around and DJ. Yeah, he was always around. He was always around and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so that's who was judging you that day.
Yeah.
Any message to this Sujit?
Was that a dream come true for him?
Actually it was a horrible experience.
Yeah, him and Sujit of all people.
Any message to Sujit?
Oh
But then again,
yeah, there was some
crock of
messed up
shit.
shit that happened. Yeah. Like there was some messed up shit that happened with my timing, and it was like a whole drama, and I had a bad experience. So
yeah,
whatever.
Do you come out to the West? Did you come out pre-COVID? Did you come out to the West for gigs very often, or not really because you had to stay in New York? Are you gonna like lose your gigs in New York or your weeklies?
Yeah, I had to stay in New York. I had to dedicate because I had a lot of weekly gigs. So
yeah,
I didn't really make it out to the West Coast that much, but I did play in LA before COVID, because I was actually in the Philippines in January.
Wow.
I DJ'd out there, and then on the way back, I stopped in LA, and I spun at the Dime.
Everyone spins at the Dime in LA.
Yeah, everybody gets a shot in Fairfax.
The Dime is like the biggest whole venue ever for like New York DJs.
And it's like the smallest place of all time.
Yeah, I spun at the Dime with As Is. Yo, shout to As Is. He helped put me on.
So wait, so you would come out, you would travel around, and then I feel like everyone goes to this. Every local DJ, obviously in their local city, when you have like a residency in your city, right, and you start traveling, the venue always kind of hates on you for like kind of traveling, right? They kind of they low key kind of like hate you kind of blowing up if you like traveling a little bit, right?
Yeah, there was always some, whenever I come back. They'd be funny style a little bit with some of my residencies.
Oh, you just came back from Japan. Ooh, like thanks for gracing us. Thanks for gracing us with your presence.
Not even only that. It was like, sometimes they would be like, we had a whole birthday party here for you and you weren't here. Or, like we had table reservations type thing. And, I feel bad too. I'm like, oh, fuck, but
I used to get
tough,
I used to do the club, and then if I went to the Hamptons for the weekend, the next week they'd be like, the manager. I remember the GM used to talk shit to me. He's like, "So you hot shit, huh? You going to the Hamptons?" And he's like, "How does it?" He's like, "How does it feel getting that Hampton money and then coming back and getting money and getting that shit money that you get here, huh?
Getting the crumb money.
Does it hurt your feelings?" He's like, if you would talk so much shit to me, like when I went to the Hamptons, how was that bus ride? Huh? That was a good bus ride.
Bus ride?
Was it worth the pay? I'd be like, yo, fuck you, man. They used to fucking hate. It'd be like, oh, you just came from I think I did a tryout in Vegas. They'd be like, oh, you're going to Vegas? They're like, oh, so you're big time now? You're not gonna come? He's like, oh, and they're just like talking all the shit. He's like, I'm not gonna pay you more. I'm not gonna pay you more. So if you're gonna leave, you better leave. He's like, I'll find another DJ, and I'm just like, Jesus, fuck. It's like, wow, all that shit. You guys never had that shit in New York?
Yeah, that happened to me before. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was just fucking rough, man. What do you call it? Is that? I wanted to ask you this because I love the name of this. Actually, I love your. Wait, I wanted to ask you this. Where did Getlive come from?
Well, back in the day, I used to play basketball.
Yeah.
And when I was coming up, the movie Sunset Park was popping.
Yeah.
So I took the name from, they used to be like, time to get live, time to represent Sunset Park. What time is it? Before each game, they would hype themselves up. So I kind of just took the Get Live part, and then it was my first AOL screen name.
Wow.
when AOL came out, and then I just ended up using it as my DJ name, and that's how it came about.
Yeah, because there's usually so many horrible DJ names, and Getlive is actually a pretty good one. So
it's a really good one.
Yeah,
not the greatest story
behind
horrible.
It. Yeah, this horrible name.
Yeah, horrible story, but great.
A little bit, man.
Yeah,
dope logo with a G.
You need to change that story. You need to change that story on how you named yourself. Getlive.
They won't say Sunset Park. So on time to get live.
They also used to use it in the Onyx song.
It's time to get live.
Yeah.
So I used to cut that up.
I knew you cut that up.
Yeah, I used to cut that up. I used to cut up on the One More Chance remix, Get Live on the Biggie One More Chance remix. So, yeah, it ended up sticking.
Yeah, you got to change that. You got to change that story from the Sunset Park. Because everyone's gonna be like, Sunset Park. You mean the movie with Fedro Starr?
Yo, that was like a cult classic growing up. Yo,
was it? That was like that was the worst, yo.
The basketball team they all had the kamikazes, the red and black Reebok kamikazes.
Yeah,
maybe that was a Queens thing, man. That was a Queens thing, yo.
Maybe it was just like a basketball thing or something like that.
So wait, there's another name I wanted to ask you about, which is the Pepper Seed crew. What is this? What's the Pepper Seed crew?
So I do a party in Brooklyn called Pepper Seed. I actually used to start. We used to do it in Kinfolk when Kinfolk was still around. Me and my boy New, who's out on the West Coast right now, we started the party, and it kind of took the idea from, the whole 90s reggae kind of vibe. Pepper Seed was a dance. It was the name of a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of wanted to bring that 90s reggae style to the party, that vibe.
Yeah.
He came up with the name, and then he moved to the West Coast. He was like, yo, I'm not gonna be able to do the party anymore. So if you want to keep doing it, you can keep doing it. And I just kept doing it at Kinfolk. And then I hooked up with the homie Alfred, who owns Rise Radio in Brooklyn right now. He used to work with Black Scale, the clothing line, and he's originally from the Bay Area. Was a DJ out in the Bay by the name of DJ Day and DE, and he came out to New York. And, he used to play reggae. So I was like, yo, why don't you come do the party with me? And from there, we kept doing it. And now, actually, we haven't done it since COVID came around.
Yeah.
But before that, we were doing it at Rise Radio.
That's dope.
Once a month. It's like a monthly thing, We kind of wanted, it has the foundation in like 90s reggae, but, we branched out now into a more tropical vibe, just because all these different musics from all over the diaspora, all over the world.
Just mixing like Afro-Caribbean music all together, kind of, right?
Right, yeah. So bringing even just like the dembo, which is popping, out here in New York, uptown and stuff like that.
Dominicans.
Dembo's popping in New York like that.
Yeah, it's Dominican, bro.
Yeah,
dembo is huge.
That's uptown. That's all the Bronx, all the Dominicans up there. They fuck with that.
What are the standout tracks, or is it all like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are the standout tracks?
Papa.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
It's kind of Then La Romana from Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
They got that break where it turns into the dembo. That was huge. Stuff from El Alfa is popping. And just the whole J Balvin Bad Bunny wave was huge out here.
Yeah.
I'd say those records, the Oasis album from J Balvin and Bad Bunny, that was huge last year. And just the waves continue. It's been going on for a minute though.
Are you gonna bring that to Twitch?
Well, I've played. We've done a Pepper Seed night on Twitch.
Okay, cool.
We want to bring it. We want to bring it back. We've actually started broadcasting some sets from Rise Radio, which is a venue in Brooklyn, in Bushwick, but they're equipped to do live stream from.
Dope.
So New York is in phase 4 now, where it's outdoor dining.
Well, I heard museums just opened up, right? So
yeah, so they serve food and they do the to-go drinks, and they have a live stream set up there too. So they actually have a whole list of programming with DJs coming through to do their live stream sets.
Oh wow!
And they're all equipped. So some DJs that aren't equipped for live streaming at the crib, they could just go there, and it's social distance. Everything's spaced out, limited capacity type of thing. So eventually, I want to bring the live stream there. I've just been so caught up with my own personal live stream and tweaking that every day.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, even I've had to limit kind of my live stream sets outside of the Monday through Friday thing because I could get burnt out. I'm pretty conscious of that.
Yeah.
How do you what's the best way to approach that? Because when motherfuckers come up to you and they want you to do their stream, and are you being selective on who you're associating with and who you're streaming on, or what?
I mean, honestly, to aside from the stuff I've kind of already agreed upon, like way before, you know, I'm pretty much what I've just told you right now, honestly, is, you know, I'm kind of like, I got a heavy load this week, you know, streaming load. So, you know, I kind of have to be a little limited with my sets. You know, I try to keep it fresh, you know.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, it's tough, man. Even how I approach streaming, I just put so much pressure on myself. So every time I stream, I put so much pressure on myself, and I probably work on my set. If it's like a 2 hour, if it's like an hour or 2 hour set, I probably put 4 to 6 hours of music. Like I go through music for 4 to 6 hours.
Right.
But that's probably overdoing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, because I feel like if I'm gonna stream, I gotta bring something different to it.
Yeah.
And I almost have like a fear to just go on and just fuck around. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I gotta have some type of intention if I'm gonna jump on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean, you know, this kind of goes to, you know, how everyone has their own individuality on Twitch.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends on you. You know, even if you wanted to have a live stream of just you cutting up, you know, that's your thing. You know, and
yeah, but I'm not as gifted as you, so I'm not going to be on that. No. You could do that. I'm not going to do that.
Getlive don't prepare anything, bro. Everything's so fresh.
Open the laptop.
I've never thought that in my life. Like, I'm just going to go on and cut it up. That's not what I've never said that in my life.
What are we doing today? How do I feel?
Yo, honestly, that's kind of like how I approach it. You know, it's kind of like, yo, what's going on today? What's the vibe like? And then I'll probably sit down, have my morning tea, and just going through my iTunes and start lining up tunes. And, you know, one of the things that keeps it fresh too is just not even planning, kind of, so to speak, is, you know, because that's the fun part about DJing, I'd say, is playing music, you know, and mixing music. And that's what keeps it exciting, I'd say. Being able to do something, you know, creating, you know, while you in the mix.
Have you had to rearrange your folders and your Serato shit, you know, your music to adjust to live streaming?
Well, I mean, I've kind of had folders. I have a whole ton of folders already as is.
Yeah.
I've just kind of like updated, you know, maybe added more to the playlists. And maybe pulled some music that I haven't touched in a while. Yeah, you know, I'll bring it up.
Like the commercial club, like some of the commercial club shit. Kind of take that out and then put some of like the B-sides and some of the good, more good music shit. How did you work that?
To be honest, I don't think I've played one Drake song on live stream ever since I started live streaming.
That's funny.
Wow, man.
That's funny because Jamie just did a live stream last weekend. And he played probably 200 Drake songs in 2 hours.
It was a tribute. It became a tribute to the Sixth God. And we're going to do it
again. Yo, no diss, though. I mean, you know,
no, you could diss. You could diss. No,
all you want.
Play all the Drake shit in the club. But it's just, you know, hey, you know, playing music for people in the crib is just such a different vibe.
Yeah.
Because you could be you. You don't have to like worry about like management or like what the people want to hear.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like it's a certain aesthetic too. I feel like being in the crib, like when you listen to music, you know, I don't know. For me personally, you know, I feel like it's an atmosphere. I say, you know, so I think you taking that idea of playing music that's atmosphere, or you know, in the background, I guess, so to speak. You know, I guess that's kind of the idea when you're playing for people in the crib. You know, there was even a tweet that DJ Marvel tweeted. He was like, yo, why is all the new like trap shit not translated on Twitch? And people were replying. They were like, yo, because there's no club to turn up at.
True.
That's true.
Yeah, so
we're all getting old.
Also, yeah.
I feel like it's just a different, you know, it's a different, you're in a different place when you're in the club.
Yeah.
You know, you're a different environment. You know, people, and then the energy of the people too contributes to it, you know. Some people are just at the crib dolo and, you know, just want to hear a vibe.
I've had some like festival live streams come to me, and there's some like nightclub live streams that have come to me who wanted me to live stream. And I just didn't know what they wanted me to do. Like, because I didn't want to play like club music. Does that make sense? Because I'm like,
it makes absolute sense.
And I'm just like, well, what do you want me to play? And they're just like play whatever you want. I'm like, are you sure you want me to just play whatever you want? Because you're known as like a high energy turn up club. and then here I am playing like, you know, a bunch of R&B and Afro beats and shit. So like, I don't know if that's gonna translate to you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always like, I don't know what to really go about it. And then when I mean, all you DJs that are live streaming, by all means, do whatever you want to do and play whatever you want to play. But when I go onto some of these live streams with DJs and they're playing like club music and like EDM remixes, it just turns me the fuck off. And I leave immediately out of their stream. And I'm just like, I can't take it. I can't hear that shit. Because it's not something I want to hear when I'm at home. Or like, you know what I'm saying? So it's barely something I want to hear when I'm in the club. So it's like, I don't want to hear that when I'm at home. But that's me personally. And by all means, all you DJs, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, don't listen to me.
That's why we listen to Getlive.
Yeah.
I turn on some incense and, you know, Palo Santo. We vibing, baby.
Yeah. I mean, even, you could do the whole raid another room after. And I raided another DJ, and he noticed that the raid came in, and people were in the chat room. They're like, "Yo, don't switch up your vibe, just because we came here. You know, keep playing the vibe that you're playing."
Yeah.
And you know, I encourage that. You know, that goes to the individualism of the DJ on Twitch. You know, you could create your own vibe. I was looking through the browser page, and there was like a whole bunch of stuff. You know, there was like industrial goth live streams. You know, there was like. There's a lot of like the Brazilian funk live streams. There was, there's an avenue for everything, I'd say.
Yeah. There definitely is. There's some weird shit out there that I stumble onto.
By the way, when he said browser, I thought it was a porn site.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit! There's a
browsers is a porn.
Is it Brazers or Brazzers?
Brazzers.
Oh, I always thought it was Brazers. I was like, there's a Brazzers feature on Twitch? Oh, shit.
I was like, yeah, you nasty, Getlive.
Damn, I gotta make partner. I gotta make partner, yo. Is that what happens?
That might be my little New York accent. My bad.
No, I thought you said browser. I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. You're on Pornhub.
For the record, he meant browser. The browser.
Browser, browser.
Browser. I thought he said browsers. That's how I had to correct me. I was like, yeah, I heard this. No, that shit's crazy.
When you reach partner on Twitch, man, the browser section pops up.
The Bang Bros
it just pops up too. Like no one in enough.
So if you don't mind me asking about the money, right, that you make from Twitch, is it once you reach partner, is it a 50-50 split still, or do you get or do they get 30%?
Actually, I still have to do my homework on it.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten into it, honestly, because like I said, I wasn't even really focused on the money. And people were hitting me up. They're like, yo, you should, because for a time, I didn't even have a subscribe button. And people were like, yo, how do you subscribe? And I was like, I wasn't really doing it for that, you know? And then one DJ, shouts to NYC Dope, he came up to me and he was like, yo, man, you're providing content for Twitch. You know, they're making money off of you. So you should go legit on this. So that's when I was like, oh yeah, you're right, you know. So I went legit on it, and there's, you get the payout breakdown comes from subscriptions. It comes from when they cheer you on with bits.
Yeah.
Only a small amount comes from like ads, stuff like that. Gifted subs, people that gift subscriptions. So that's where a lot of the revenue comes from.
Have you been able to pay off some of your expenses and, earn a living kind of with it, or is it fairly minimal?
Yeah, I mean, I was blessed to make a couple of moves pre-COVID to kind of help hold me down a little bit to survive through this.
Uh-huh.
So, but shoot, I was lucky enough to get unemployment.
Yeah.
Go through that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that's they cut the whole pandemic help. They cut that last week of July. So, now it's like, oh man, what are we gonna do? They're talking about bringing it back, but
it's about 400 now.
Yeah, they're talking about that. So it's it's definitely coming to a time where I have to really sit down and think about the next moves for sure.
Have you thought about putting out any merch and stuff like that? And
yeah, actually, that's something I'm working on right now. So I'm working on my own merch. I'm gonna release merch soon.
Nice.
And it's real hard. It's a weird time still. We're still in this virus is still around, and it's hard to call. You don't really know what's gonna happen. So kind of just taking it day by day still.
I was gonna say, don't feel the type of way to put up that Venmo or Cash App, man. I don't think that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think motherfuckers are trying to own you on Twitch and whatnot. I'm being for real. Like, I talk to motherfuckers all the time, and I'm just like, yo, just put it up, man. Like, there's motherfuckers who are working and making the same money that they're making before, and they're not having to, they're not having to, what do you call it? Experience what all of us DJs are experiencing, and they want to spend their money and share some of that shit that they have. So I was gonna say, don't ain't no
shame in the game, man.
Don't feel the type of way about putting that shit out there, because I don't think anyone looks at that shit and is like, yo, look at that, and like, no one's judging that shit at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real.
Fuck that.
Yeah, and then you do a great job enough that I feel that you deserve all of the whatever tips or whatever the fuck you get from that. You deserve that shit.
Thank
for
you.
Real, especially when you put in 5 days into that. And I want to push your Twitch, so it's twitch.tv/Getlive. DJ Getlive. DJ Getlive, and you do a great job on there, Monday through Friday, Eastern time. Eastern time. Eastern time 12 to 2, Pacific time was it 9 to 11 pretty much? Yeah.
9 to 11. Yes.
9 to 11. And definitely what do you call it? Follow and subscribe to my man Getlive. And Getlive, man, let's I'm glad that we actually got to link up and keep in touch. And
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Is there anything else we want to touch on, Pause?
I think that's it. I think we're good.
That's it, man.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, man. Just want to say thank you for having me, man. I'm a fan of the show. I listen to y'all, and I really appreciate it. It's an honor for sure. Thank you.
I mean,
man. Thank you.
You're way too
humble.
Way too humble and respectful, man. And I told you, be careful with that y'all shit.
It's okay, bro. You look up to me. It's great.
No.
Listen, you've come a long way, Getlive. I remember when you were such a young kid.
Yeah, be careful with the y'all. There is no y'all. Like this y'all doesn't count.
You're a hater.
For
respect.
real, man.
Yeah. We were trying to get him. Well, we were in New York last year, and it was super last minute. But we were trying to get you on and stuff. But timing didn't work out. But I'm glad we got you on here.
Yeah.
And once we're back in New York, bro, we got to get you back on the show.
Cool, man.
Absolutely, man. Let's stay connected for sure.
Yeah.
Looking forward to your merch and all that, man. And I'll see you on Twitch, bro. All right.
Thank you. I'll see y'all too, man. Thank you so much.
If you want to watch this video alongside all our brand new videos that drop every Friday, go to youtube.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be the first one to get the video.
And big shout to DJ City. If you want to see R.O.A.D podcast on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/R.O.A.D podcast. We have a weekly battle on Sundays at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. And come check us. We've been having a lot of fun with those battles and shit. And check my man Getlive too. Twitch.tv/DJ Getlive. And we out. Peace.
Peace.